What is going on, everybody? This is Mr. TechBot, and of course, this is Walt Disney Wednesdays, where I try to bring you as much news around Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Company, and just overall to help your travel needs. Especially, of course, focused around Disney, as I am a huge Disney fan. As I always like to say in the beginning of the lives, I'm full discretion. There is a lot of information that I do get from two particular YouTubers that are fantastic that I always recommend to go check out, and that is going to be Disney Food Blog and WDW News Today. But those are good sources, locations, as well as myself. So as everyone's always got a choice of where to get their news. But for today, before we get into all those details, I get some fantastic items, some fantastic new merchandise coming out, some great snacks and sweets, because I know y'all love that stuff as well. But I do have a fantastic guest. This is a guest that I met actually out of the parks. It's actually kind of complicated, but we actually met at the parks. She was doing a podcast for a while. She's no longer doing her podcast. She's now doing her Disney TikToks. I want to welcome in Madelyn to the live. What's going on, Madelyn? How are you doing?
What's going on? We're doing great. We're thriving. We're there.
I know we'd met and we talked, and you were doing the Disney thing, and I think we just felt because like I said, I'm a Disney fan. I can tell you're a Disney fan. I've heard your podcast before. It was great. I know you're no longer doing that anymore, so we're not even going to put that podcast up on here. But there's been plenty of different locations, and this channel is eventually going to go into the realm of I'm going to start taking this exact audio and putting it on podcasts in the next year, so that way people have multiple sources. But before we get into the news, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you became a Disney fan, and what's your favorite part about the parks?
Yeah. So, I'm really a full-time teacher. Really a full-time high school teacher. But I also kind of call myself a professional Disney adult. To a degree, and it's really started back when I was like 4. I mean, my family and I went to Disney. God, practically every year, twice a year for a while. We had family friends who were cast members. So we were down there quite frequently visiting them. We used their main gates and things like that. So we were there all the time, and it just really kind of stuck with me. And as I became an adult and I earned my own money, I was like, okay, I earned my own money. I can afford my own trip now. Where's the first place I want to go? I want to go to Disney because I can afford a Disney trip now. And I can afford ears on my own now. I can afford lounge flies on my own now. And we really just kind of started, down that rabbit hole, and really became much more into the Disney community in the pandemic, and just in the way that we all connected, over something so special and, so magical, in the ways that we were all like, I miss just walking down Main Street and hearing the Main Street music and, smelling the confectionery and, browsing the Emporium, or, I miss walking down Sunset Boulevard, towards Tower of Terror with, your old Hollywood vibe. Like, that was the stuff that I missed the most. And that's something that we all kind of just connected, over, was that missing of not just the rides, but like the ambiance and the feeling. And that's what really sticks with me about Disney, is it's not a vacation, it's a literal departure, like, from reality.
That's it, and I think that's why most people love Disney. Like I said, it's the way they do it, the way they story tell, the way they go about it. Everyone's got a favorite character somewhere, and your multiples, and it really takes you away into that. And with the size of the company, there's always lots of things to talk about, lots of changes, lots of things, because as Walt said, you always keep moving forward and keep progressing. So
Exactly.
I actually should start making that part of the segment of the show. I should start doing a weekly Walt quote.
Yes.
I actually like that idea.
He's got a lot of good ones.
He's got some fantastic ones.
He really does, yeah.
And I'm a huge Walt fan, because I've read multiple autobiographies of him. stuff like that. And I mean, he's the epitome of the American dream. You
Mm-hmm.
know, he failed, but he didn't stop. He continued moving on, continued pressing on. You know, they went into big financial problems and within the company, and they kept pressing on and kept doing it. And, you know, it's brought it to what it is today. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's amazing to see. It's always a wonder to see what Walt would think of where the parks have gone today.
Mm-hmm.
If this is what he really imagined. So, you know, it's hard to say, but, you know, hopefully his legacy lives on. He's one of those great minds, you know, kind of like a Steve Jobs or something of that nature that, you know, the world needs sometimes the innovators, the imaginators.
Yep, most definitely.
So let's get to some Disney news because we actually have a big topic to talk about in the beginning, and I want to get your opinion on this as well.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about, you know, how Walt thinks the company's going and stuff like that. Of course, we talked about it last week with Bob Iger. You know, as a big Bob Iger fan, you know, he didn't always make the you know, as any CEO does, they don't always make the greatest decisions, but they make a lot of good ones. You know, Eisner was kind of the same way. He wasn't liked much in the end, but in the beginning, he did pretty well. And Iger, I think, really developed the company into a powerhouse it is today.
Mm-hmm.
But now we got Bob Chapek, and um, of course, everybody right now within the Disney community is talking about this interview. I don't know if you've heard about this interview that came around. And I don't even think it was Bob Chapek that did this interview. I actually believe this was Alan Horn
Mm-hmm.
who was speaking for Bob Chapek. And actually, before I get into this, don't forget, I do have a giveaway tonight. Of course, we've got the fantastic Christmas ears we are giving away. These are a $39.99 value. We'll be giving those away. I do have 4 people on the wheel right now. And that is OTT with G, Chep 3 Pops, Nadia, aka Little Monster, and Christina Payne. You do not have to be here to win it, but I will, because these are a fantastic item. If you guys are interested in getting these and getting entered into this giveaway, please, you know, I don't want you to leave the show, but you'd have to go to last week's show, answer the question at the end of the show, which is based upon something I talked about. So go ahead and then you would just Instagram that to me. Let me know in the chat. Hey, I sent you an Instagram and I'll check it. Add you to the wheel, go from there. Now we do have another giveaway going up for next week. I have, again, just like last week, I didn't get a chance to go pick it up yet, but I do already know what it is. And of course, it is another set of ears because I think the holidays, they have fantastic ear sets. And it is this new Walt, I think it's part of the Walt collection that came in from Disneyland. And these are fantastic. These are more of a leather bound item. And I'm probably going to guess, have you gotten these yet?
I actually have not. I have not bought any holiday ears this year. And I'm
this is, of course, a mini
myself.
one. It is, like I said, it is leather bound and it looks fantastic. And I will be picking those up tomorrow when I get over to Disney Springs. Yeah, so I'll give you guys probably till we'll spin the wheel at the end of the show and give these ears away and go from there. But you know, if you guys get a chance, you go to last week's with Bob Chapek with Bob Iger on the thumbnail. But anyways, back to this interview now. Basically, Bob Chapek explains that he wants the world to see him as more than just a bean counter. You know, Alan Horn, he explains that during his tenure, you know, he's had a tough time with things like COVID, massive layoffs. The head to the lightning lane, explains Alan Horn. Chapek has focused too much, in a lot of people's opinion, Chapek has focused way too much on Disney Plus, and there's a lot of actors that are afraid of his lack of creativity. Even Iger himself has expressed early on last February, concerns about the lack of creativity and loss of magic.
Yeah.
So we're coming about on the 2-year mark next, you know, in a couple months of the tenure of Bob Chapek. And I don't think I've ever seen a Disney CEO. This is only the 7th Disney CEO, by the way. And within his 2 years, there was already a petition going around to fire him.
Yeah. I understand his desire with Disney Plus. It was an initiative that was launched in 2019. I mean, I'll admit I was basically almost a day one sign up. I got a 3-year subscription with my Chase, my Disney Chase Visa card. So I was pretty much a day one, and I understand where he was coming from with the focus on that, particularly with the pandemic, with parks being closed and, stores being closed and things like that. Okay, well, where are you going to get revenue from? I'm going to get revenue from, Disney Plus. Well, people are going to get bored with stuff on Disney Plus. We need new material. Do I think that some of the lack of creativity is there? Yes. But, when you also think about the side stories and the backstories, that he's giving people, we've got, Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, you've got Loki, and I can't speak much to WandaVision because I'm gonna be real honest, I didn't watch WandaVision. But diving more
fantastic, by the way.
That's what I hear. But then I also know Hawkeye's fantastic, and I can't get into Hawkeye either. I've tried.
Mind you, I'm a huge Marvel fan, and I would say probably out of so far the Disney Plus series, WandaVision, you have to appreciate the old school sitcoms.
Yeah.
But I think cinematically, WandaVision was far and beyond like anything anybody could have imagined, and it was incredible to that aspect, where it had a lot more Easter eggs in it than any of the other ones did, type thing. But anyways, back to Chapek. I mean, I completely agree with you. Mind you, Chapek's he was a bean counter. That was his job. He was, before he took over CEO, he was in charge of Disney Plus. He was in charge of distributions. He was very good at what he did. The problem with that is, you got a guy like Iger and Eisner who they were creativity people. They were, the Imagineers before Imagineers were really a big thing. So that's the biggest thing. Where my biggest problem with Chapek is, Eisner came in, he started making his changes right away, but he added value to the consumer. Iger came in, he started his tenure, he added value to the consumer. Chapek came in and took away value. You take away what I think was the biggest mistake of all. You take away Disney Magical Express, right? So now really, what's the value in people coming to your parks? You pretty much
staying on property.
Exactly, or stay on property and pay the expensive prices for Disney property. You pretty much take away Disney dining plan, which most families relied on that. You embrace an item that for years has been a free item. Now, I don't necessarily, everyone's got a different opinion on Lightning Lane. And I don't necessarily disagree with the fact of, adding money to it. Because yes, a lot of parks in many years have done it. Universal's been doing it for years. Stuff like that. I just don't like how they did it. I don't like how if you pay for the Lightning Lane Plus, you still got to pay extra money for 2 other rides. I think that's crap. And I don't like it. I think that's just getting greedy in there. Plus, in a past interview with Chapek talking about Lightning Lane, he gave the worst response I've ever seen. And he's like, well, everybody else is doing it. So we figured, to me, I hold Disney to a higher standard. Walt wasn't here to copy what everybody else did.
Exactly.
Walt was here to set the bar, not to accept what everybody else did. Disney's a company of everybody else following what Disney does. Now we're following everybody else.
And here's the thing with the Lightning Lane. First of all, whoever decided that it should be called Lightning Lane needs to be fired immediately, because that is the dumbest thing. It's the most un-Disney thing to come out of Disney. Like, that is I don't mean to drag Universal or like Busch Gardens or things like that under the bus, but like that's some Busch Gardens stuff.
Yeah.
The Lightning Lane. Now, if you had taken the, I don't know, like a Lightning McQueen, theme with it, then absolutely.
The same thing.
Like, ka-chow. But like, to just call it I just think that they need to be like fired immediately.
Well, especially on top of that, you have Genie, which isn't a bad icon to put on there, but go after something that was in his songs. I mean, Robin
Yeah.
Williams had so many great noises and sounds or great phrases that we could use anything. You're gonna mix Cars with Aladdin?
Yeah, it just it doesn't make sense. And I'm indifferent towards Lightning Lane. I'm like, I could go with it, I could go without it. I have a solo trip coming up in January. Mom, Dad, if you're listening, you didn't hear that. Oopsies. And on my solo trip, am I probably going to use it? No, because it's just me. If it's and it's in January, like I'm not going to need it if I'm by myself in January.
Yeah.
Like a busy day in June, July, something like that. Yeah, I might be, more apt to pay for it. The thing that also just gets me about Bob Chapek is, very early on making it very clear that he's not necessarily a Disney fan. He works for Disney, but isn't like the biggest fan of the parks, isn't the biggest fan of, this. And it's just, when you go back to people like Bob Iger and Michael Eisner, I mean, they were Disney people.
But he's trying to retract that, by the way. He's trying to tell people, no, I'm a Disney fan. Dude, come on, man.
No, your actions speak louder.
Josh D'Amaro is a Disney fan. To be honest with you, and everybody agrees with it. Everyone thinks that Josh D'Amaro should have gotten the position.
100%.
The guy lives, because the thing is, you got a guy like Iger. Iger spent 37 years with the company. It was the only location he's only company he's ever worked for, and he started from the ground up and built, and got to where he was. Chapek didn't start from the ground up. He started as a being kind of. Then that's the thing is Chapek's a numbers guy. He's all about the numbers. That's also why Disney won't get rid of things like reservation systems. Guests hate the reservation systems. Disney absolutely loves them. Why? Because I told you guys before, Disney, if anything, is the biggest data mining company in the world.
Absolutely.
They love the reservation system because they know exactly how many people are going to be there.
And when I think about, Josh D'Amaro, so I actually have two friends who I met through the Diz Talk community. They're Disneyland folks. And actually one of them, her name is Liz. She's on TikTok as Chim Chim Churro. And she's become famous because she cleans her brick in Disneyland. Like she has a little cleaner. She puts out little cones and cleans her brick and things like that. And she was cleaning her brick one day, and my friend, Johnny was there too. And Josh D'Amaro just walks up to them and had a conversation. He's like, "Oh, you're the one that cleans your brick." And they had a friendly conversation. He was so casual. He's like, "Oh my God, I love your shoes. They're such great Disney shoes. Yeah, let's take a picture. What are you guys going to go do today?" "Oh, that's my favorite. Okay, have a great day."
And that's the thing with D'Amaro. D'Amaro is actually a guy that he goes to the parks. He's very creative. So he would help the entertainment side, the movie side. I found it crazy when I read a month ago that Chapek was picking fights with Kevin Feige. It's like, dude, Kevin Feige in 10, 11, 12 years has made that company so much money. Just leave him alone and let him do what the hell he does.
Yeah.
Keep funding the movies, because guess what? Even though, because it was after Shang-Chi, actually, it was back in September, after Shang-Chi had come out, because he didn't, Chapek didn't think. Chapek's, again, this is the mind, this is the non-creativity. He thinks that Feige should bring back Iron Man, should bring back Captain America, bring back what made it popular. The problem is that doesn't make a long-lasting thing. You got to keep introducing new characters. You got to keep introducing new lines, new things. And that's what Kevin Feige understands, that he was a comic book kid, just like myself. He understands that you have to continue to introduce characters and introduce reasons. I think it's a shame that Eternals got such a bad rap, because as a comic book kid, Eternals was such a pivotal part, and I think is going to be such a pivotal part to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think their origin story, people just didn't get it.
Yeah, exactly. And people want to grasp onto the old. And if that's what's continued to be encouraged, of, oh, well, let's just bring back, what are you going to do? Bring back Iron Man from the dead? I mean, like, come on. I'm as upset about Tony Stark's death as anybody else, but like I've accepted it and I've moved on. But again, it harks back to that original idea that, Walt had of progress means you keep moving forward. Moving forward doesn't always mean, well, let's take what's old and, fix it or reimagine it. It means coming up with new things, utilize your creative people, utilize your Imagineers, who have done such wonderful things, like with Guardians of the Galaxy that's coming out. I follow Imagineer Zach Ridley on Instagram, and Zach Ridley is constantly posting about things from an Imagineer's perspective. Talking about Cosmic Rewind from an Imagineer's perspective. Utilize if you're not a creative person, part of being a good leader is recognizing, hey, here's where my strengths are, here's where my weaknesses are. How can I delegate my weaknesses, to help?
Exactly.
Utilize those people. And, if he were more willing to do things like that and not just be like, well, this is how it is, this is how everybody does it, then I think that maybe people would, lay off of him a little bit more. But I'm going to tell him the same thing that I tell my freshmen, at this point in the year. He sort of dug his grave, with the in deep Disney community, and now he's probably going to have to lie in it.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically turned into be the most hated man in Disney, in the Disney universe at the moment. I mean, can that be turned around? Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah. But he's gonna do something dramatic, and sitting there and crying to the Disney community that I don't want to be called this or that. Here's the problem: action speaks louder than words. And if you don't want the Disney community to call you that, and you don't want the Disney community to set petitions for you to be fired, then do something. Do something more than what you're doing, because everybody is watching, and that's the biggest thing. And I think that's where it really needs to stand. Maybe the next 2 years, if he's because Disney loves to keep long-term people, but I don't know. Who knows where the next 2 years? Maybe he's going to learn from this. Maybe he's going to adjust. I don't know. But time will tell, and we can go from there. But sorry, I was getting preoccupied because I don't have any of my normal mods in here, and I was going on just to add a mod because we ended up getting some sort of troll.
Oh, I love that.
Putting up some here. I want to make sure that okay, it is muted. I have a really good. I know he's always in here, so I believe he's still here. I just have to. It's weird how they make you add a mod because I got to go into the actual stream on YouTube and do it. So OTT, he's a fantastic viewer of mine. Been great support. And if OTT, I just made you a moderator. If you can go through and clean up that whole Nazi stuff, that's really uncalled for. And for some reason, I don't know why I've been getting these weird trolls lately, and I don't know what's going on here, but things like that are just uncalled for. But I did want to get back to before we continue on. We did have some, like OTT had made some comments on here, and I like to always reference with these guys. It says some of the Disney Plus contents I've really enjoyed. Love it. It seems filler material. You'd like to see, and I get it. I don't I think people have gotten a good value out of Disney Plus, but don't make that the sole point of your tenure. I mean, you got to. There's much more to focus on, and especially after picking a fight with Scarlett Johansson. Why that never should have been done in the first place.
Oh yeah, honestly, when that happened, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna cancel the whole Tower of Terror," I was like, fix it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Fix it now.
And the thing is that I whether these are true or not, they're well, I believe they're true. I mean, there's been things like with the whole 50th, it was very I guess over promoted and underwhelmed.
Yeah. After October 1st, it was definitely
I
underwhelming.
think there's still a lot of fans that are hoping for Happily Ever After to come back. I personally have not seen Enchanted yet because I'm kind of afraid. I've seen Epcot's. I don't mind it if you take it for what it is, but I know apparently Chapek had too much of. They wanted to make it differently, but Chapek added his own 2 cents into it, and that's what we got.
I was a huge Happily Ever After stan, and I was very upset, when it went away. I was at the fourth to last showing, and then I went to Enchantment, on over Halloween weekend. I actually didn't hate it. It wasn't great. It could have been better, but I didn't hate it. It
But
was
Happily
more
Ever After was so good.
It was more the music that did it for me, not necessarily the projections, not the actual pyro, because honestly, they needed more pyro. But it was the music, and I think it was just because the music hit me. The music hit me in a personal place, like for where I'm at in my life right now. Of like, you don't necessarily need anything else. Like you personally are the magic.
Yeah.
And so that's, I guess maybe that's why I liked, is that
I
music
like
hit.
the theme. I like the theme. I like the understanding. I understand that, and I like the way the direction they're going with that. So time will tell. We'll see.
Yeah.
Simon says you don't really see the change until there's a shift of management. You can always change. I can't get comfortable and complacent, otherwise you get boring. And hopefully that's not where it goes, but we'll see. Loved Michael Eisner again. Michael Eisner. The only thing he really screwed up on in my eyes was Eisner he was a movies guy. So after he bombed Disneyland Europe, he basically like left the parks in disrepair. He didn't care about upgrading, and that's why over the past 10 years there's been so much upgrades in the parks, because Eisner really left those things in disrepairs, to be honest with you. But he was a movies guy, and thankfully Iger finally stepped up. They have to hire again. I would agree. They have to hire people for their brains, not their extent. Yeah, I mean that's you guys are hitting it right on the money here. So again, we've talked about him, we bashed him. I think it is going to be the thing where I think in the bottom line, action speaks louder than words. And yes, Chapek, you can. I know he watches some of these news channels because he's actually been getting crazy with him. But yes, the perception can change, but you have to be willing to change with it. And you got to make something that is going to make the Disney fandom, say, okay, maybe he is going in a different direction. Maybe he's not just the numbers, and time will tell. So he can always do that. So I do want to, before we do continue a little bit, I do want to hit some of the checks. You guys have been fantastic. I do like to give some acknowledgement to these guys. Of course, we got OTT with G, always a good supporter. Appreciate it, man. And he was a winner, I think, last week's coffee. I think I can't remember, but that is on the way and out. We've got my good friend JKL, awesome in the house. What's happening, man? We got Funko PDX. I appreciate you stopping by. We've got Nadia, aka Little Monster. Of course, she's another. We've got a lot of Canadian viewers that like to watch as well. We've got Chef 3 Pops. What's going on, man? I appreciate it. And where else we got? We got. I know we've seen a couple other new ones. We got. Of course, I can't forget my good friend, another Canadian, Simon Crook. What's happening, man? I do appreciate you. And pass by these trolls. And then, of course, one of my favorite Canadians of all is Slushland. I don't know if you've ever gotten a chance to check out Slushland. He's very adult, R-rated, but he is my favorite foul-mouthed Canadian. And I've recently have decided to pick an insult war with him. And I always figured, because I felt he needed some Disney love, so I photoshopped some ears on him. And it looks good, but I figure if you're gonna insult somebody, you insult the top dog, because then everybody else is just weak after that. So we love you, Slush. You're always awesome. Appreciate you. and I think we are now caught up. So, going into it again, if you guys want to read the rest of the article, you can find it online, and it is there to go over. Now, this is some of the standard Disney overall stuff, and in this part, you may be wondering why I included this in the Disney overall section, but I don't know if you guys, this is a little bit of merchandise. The Walt Disney World Railroad dress and purse has just released, and the reason I actually recently decided to add it to this section because this is not, even though it's a Walt Disney World, it kind of frustrated me because my daughter, wish it was in kid size. My daughter absolutely loved it. Why won't this picture come up? Sorry, trying to produce. It's a lot to try to produce and do it all at the same time. Come on. There we go. So, it's of course got the Walt Disney World Railroad logo on the front. I mean, that's on the back, and I believe it's got the railroad stuff all over. And then, of course, you've got the new purse, which is all gold. Got the cool timepiece on the inside, everything like that. They didn't announce prices, but the reason I put it on this is because this is a Disney Shops exclusive only. So this is the only DisneyShops.com is the only place you can actually find that merchandise. So, you big railroad logo collector?
I'm indifferent to it. My friends saw the purse version in Disneyland, and it's cute in person. It's cute in person. It's just, I'm indifferent to it. I love the dapper style dresses.
Yeah, I think that's
They
what I
come out
saw
with.
was like a Dapper Dan style.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's unique.
But also, if you are Thomas Kincaid fans, of course, if, from Disney, Thomas Kincaid has done multiple Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Europe, Disney everything photos, and he's now done a new one for the 50th anniversary. This thing's fantastic. This is actually from the official Thomas Kincaid website, and I think this is great. I might actually be missing one slightly because I might have actually grabbed the wrong one because the new one actually has the 50th logo right on the front, but it has the main street, has everything like this, and of course it's a castle all dressed up in the 50th. But it's fantastic. Of course, being Thomas Kincaid, you can also go to any one of the Disney print areas and get those prints printed out. I guarantee you they're gonna have puzzles of the damn thing because they always do.
Always a puzzle.
Disney loves to use to Thomas Kincaid in many, many ways. So I'm not a puzzle person, so I really don't get into them very much.
They frustrate me. I want to throw them across the room.
Now, before we go to Disney World, of course, you guys always know Disney World is my most news. We're going to go move over to Disneyland real quick. Big news in Disneyland this week is that a lot of the live entertainment is been announced to be coming back. We have live entertainment returning in 2022 with things like Spirit of Gospel and the Fantasyland Theater. The Main Street Electric Light Parade will return. Fantasmic as well as World of Color will also return to its original form. They didn't release any dates. They just said 2022.
Yeah.
Another thing that is returning too, I guess they did it for a little while out of out of California Adventure, but they do have something called the Tale of the Lion King will return in 2022. However, it'll be returning to the Fantasyland Theater. It is a traveling performer version, basically, of the Festival of the Lion King. Is the best way to describe it.
I'm honestly hoping that things like that, World of Color, Fantasmic, and the Electrical Parade are all there, hopefully by April of 2022, because that's going to be my first trip to Disneyland.
You've never been to Disneyland before?
I have not, no.
I've been multiple times. Fantastic. The biggest thing, and especially this is good note for anybody that has gone to one and maybe hasn't gone to the other. When you go, of course, there are a lot of similar rides, out there, and things like Pirates, Space Mountain, Splash Mountain, things like that. But you're gonna find all the small differences, and you're gonna start comparing it and be like, well, I like this ride at this location better than this one. My biggest thing is, and you have to stop by, is the I'm jealous that they still get a New Orleans Square. I love if you ever go to My favorite place to stop is the New Orleans Cafe, where you can get the best beignets I've ever had. Of course, you get julep out there. Fantastic. Of course, that's where you can also find the original Club 33 door as well.
I'm excited.
Yes, and you have fun. The only other big thing that I do warn people, especially if you're used to Disney World and you go to Disneyland, the walkways are so much smaller.
Everything is smaller.
It's so much. It's crazy how much you notice it. But yeah, I've had people go from Disneyland, Disney World, and they're like, "Man, these walkways are so much bigger." I mean, come on. He learned. It was the first park. He learned after that, and of course, because everybody else built around him, he couldn't really change a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But also returning is a new fireworks called Forever. Disney. Sorry, they're actually. I think they're kind of returning this actually. So it's called Disneyland Forever. They had originally launched during the 60th anniversary, and they will be bringing that back as well. So that'd be something to check out. Now, if you're out at Disneyland or California during this time of year and you need to see Santa, you can find Santa. He is in the lobby of the Disneyland Hotel, and they kind of gave him this weird modern day living room. He doesn't sit on a throne. He kind of sits on like a lounge chair. It's kind of weird, to be honest with you. But it definitely something to check out if you want to get out there. And then, of course, like I told you last week, Disney Genie Plus did finally come to Disneyland. However, the very first day, it was an epic failure. Crashed everywhere. All kinds of problems. However, after the first day, they did iron out the problems, and it looks like the issues have been fixed. So it does work a little bit better there. Now, do remember, if we told you with Disney Genie Plus, if you're out here using a Disney World, there's 2 rides in each 4 parks that you have to pay extra for. However, in Disneyland, it's a little different. It's total of 3 rides between the 2 parks, and of course, those 3 rides are Rise Resistance, Web Slingers, and Radiator Springs Racer. So, the last thing I thought for Disneyland, and this is weird, I'm indifferent on this, and this is probably another one that I need your opinion on because I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. It goes with all the changes they're doing for different things. Roger Rabbit, of course, Disneyland still has Toontown. It's fantastic. Mind you, by the time you're going, Toontown may be shut down.
Toontown will be shut down, and I'm very upset. But
it will be because they are revamping all of Toontown with new projections and also to get it ready for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. However, they have a fantastic ride out there, because people forget that Roger Rabbit is a Disney movie. And they need to leave classics the way classics should be, to be honest.
Agreed.
To a certain extent.
Agreed.
I understand changing things like Splash Mountain, whether you want to think, whether people want to think it was changed for race purposes or something. I choose to think of Splash Mountain change as, it's old contents that I have to keep explaining to my children when I go to tell them what it is. So changing something from Songs of the South that's a ancient cartoon that nobody knows anymore to something more updated like Princess and the Frog makes sense. This doesn't make sense, however. Let me get the picture up here. As it noted about a couple months ago, we had heard that the Jessica Rabbit locations in the Roger Rabbit spin were removed, whereas this scene particularly, she was actually being kidnapped and she was thrown into the trunk of the car. Everyone noticed that the Jessica Rabbit had been removed, and now she has returned in multiple locations. I'm just showing you the one image as Detective Jessica Rabbit. I don't know about you, but the original Rabbit never had a Detective Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah. I sometimes think that Disney sometimes likes to do woke moves, and just to be like, up with the times, which again, to an extent, I get. Changing red in Pirates of the Caribbean. is, one thing. That's an original story. But when you're taking something like Roger Rabbit, and things like that that already existed, changing that narrative becomes super hard. And it doesn't fit with the original storyline. I get why they're doing it.
I understand why they're doing it. I don't, and my first real sense of not liking these changes, pirates. I'm a huge Pirates fan. In fact, I have a Pirates of the Caribbean tattoo on the back of my leg. I'm a huge fan of Pirates, and when they originally were saying after the whole Johnny Depp thing, which I am on Johnny's side, and thankfully the truth has come out, and they're bringing Johnny Depp back to the Pirates movies. I was going to boycott the movies if they didn't have Depp in it. I understand where they're going. I understand. See, my thing with the Pirates is that was Walt's vision. Yeah. That was Walt's vision. And he wanted to show you what really happened in a characteristic, non-overall violent way. Yeah. But back in 1700s, 1600s, stuff like that, there were pirates. They acted like that. It's been well documented. It's been well known. Yes, did they go to cities and take the women and auction them off? Yes, they did. It is a factual thing that actually happened. So you're taking a ride that actually had history and real things to it, and you're creating a female pirate, which would have never actually existed back in history. I don't get it. I don't get it. And then, mind you, I get to a point of, maybe giving young girls an icon to look at for that ride and not get confused. But I also think we need to teach our children the correct things.
Mm-hmm. And if you're also going to, do something like overlay Splash Mountain entirely, take all that away with Princess and the Frog, if it's an old storyline, why not take out, if you're revamping Toontown at that point, why not just take out Roger Rabbit and put in something, newer, totally different. I
think fans would rather see that than Detective Jessica Rabbit, to be honest with you.
Yeah. It just doesn't, make,
because the whole point, I'm sorry, but the whole point of Roger Rabbit and having Jessica Rabbit in there was the sexiness. I'm sorry. That was the point of it. That's why she was drawn in that movie. That's why it was there. I'm not here to, I don't sound misogynistic or anything like that. I understand change is always going to happen, but there's certain things that don't need to change.
Yeah.
And that's one.
Yeah. It's either don't alter the narrative, and leave it as it is and accept it, or take it out completely.
Exactly. So, I don't know. Hopefully, I don't think we've seen the end of changes like this, unfortunately. But I guess we'll take it item by item.
Yeah.
But that's what I got for Disneyland. Of course, we don't get as much being over here in Disney World. I get a lot more Disney news.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I was excited for my Disneyland friends to hear, though, this was like just today, because It's a Small World holiday was down for a little while, because the building had flooded.
Yes, I announced that last week. It had flooded. The whole electrical systems flooded.
They were so mad. But they are extending It's a Small World holiday through January 24th.
Oh, nice.
It'll be open later, to accommodate for that, which my friends were all super excited. They're like, well,
that's definitely a ride that, if you're comparing the two coasts, yes, A Small World on the West Coast is so much better than what we got out here. It was kind of an afterthought out here for Small World. But few basic things. I know I kind of keep updating you as Disney kind of still isn't changing their protocols. Orange County, Florida has been labeled as a COVID hotspot, and has still requiring masks in all indoor locations. Disney has not changed from that since they went back to all masks indoors. Now, the only thing they did, again, I told you that they did change, was that if you have a ride that is outside, kind of like Dumbo, you do not have to have your mask on that ride. Another thing that actually just popped up, I didn't get a chance to add it to my notes. There was an incident that happened yesterday, and if you guys go into YouTube, you're going to see all kinds of things. And something that doesn't typically happen was fire trucks and ambulances driving down Main Street at 6. I think it was like around 6:30 yesterday. There was I think it was on the east side of the castle. From what I understand, there was a small fire that was actually put out by a fire extinguisher before the fire department got there. And as I believe it was I don't know. They didn't really say what the problem was or where it actually stemmed from. But I've been trying to remember that side of the park, and the only thing I could possibly think of, if I'm theorizing, is when they redid that whole area, they had ran a lot of electrical. Maybe. I mean, really,
Yeah.
what's that? It's grass. What's there to light on fire? I
I'm
don't
sitting
know.
here laughing not because of, fire. That's obviously terrible. There was a Instagram page called Gratuitous Disney Memes that overlaid the video of the fire trucks with the lights on coming down Main Street with the Main Street Electrical Parade music. And
Yeah, because we don't get parades at night anymore. We get the fire
the most
department.
glorious thing I've ever seen in my entire life, and I just busted out laughing the second I saw it because it's perfect. Like the new Disney, they're like,
Man.
guys, check out this new Disney parade, and it was just so funny. I died.
Yeah.
That was making humor out of a not so great situation.
Yeah. Again, it's Disney. We're not going to know the details. That type of information doesn't go public, even for fire department public records. So you're never really going to know the actual cause. But yes, there was a small fire, and yes, it was put out, and there were no damages, and nobody got hurt. So yeah, I don't know. Well, that's interesting, but it was definitely something to see. Let's talk New Year's for a little bit. New Year's at in Disney World. If you're coming out here during New Year's time, they have recently announced, of course, Magic Kingdom will be open for fireworks on New Year's Eve. They will be playing Disney Enchantment as well as Fantasy in the Sky, which is going to be their fireworks show at midnight. And my one I'm real happy with, because originally they were saying they weren't going to open it. Epcot will be returning with the New Year's Eve fireworks, along with Harmonious fireworks as well. I've been to Epcot many times on New Year's Eve. My absolute favorite place to be. The fireworks are absolutely awesome, and if you get a chance, I definitely recommend it. Otherwise, I remember I talked about a New Year's Eve thing you can do over at the Edison a couple weeks ago. At the Springs, there's another location that got announced. Raglan Road will be open, and you're actually going to be able to celebrate New Year's twice, because at 7:00 they're going to celebrate the Irish New Year's, as Ireland, of course, celebrates their New Year's before us. So you'll be able to celebrate theirs, and of course ours at midnight. So there's no prices they're telling for anything like that, like they had at the Edison. So I mean, at least we're getting New Year's Eve news. We never got any of that last year.
Nope.
So, and I mean, I'm as close to Magic Kingdom as I can hear. I can hear Enchantment fireworks every single night at 8:00.
Nice.
So, it's nice to see things that coming back. I've been to Magic Kingdom once. I didn't even see the fire. I didn't even stay to see the fireworks during New Year's. Forewarn anybody planning on going during New Year's, Magic Kingdom, if it's not already completely sold out of reservations, the place is shoulder to shoulder, and it is as packed as possible. There will be no social distancing going on at Magic Kingdom on New Year's Eve. If you want a little bit more space, I do recommend Epcot. They typically have multiple DJs that go on, as well as you can find different areas like Japan that maybe not a lot of people are in, that you can have a little bit more space, a little bit more breather room, stuff like that. And the fireworks they do at Epcot, pretty much, they shoot off so many fireworks, it makes the nighttime look like it's daytime.
Oof.
It is incredible. So if I can get some reservations, I may be back there. Maybe I'll live stream it. Maybe I'll just video it. I don't really know, but I will definitely let you know the closer in it gets.
I'm just poking around now. It looks like all park reservations for theme park tickets and hotel guests are completely gone for New Year's Eve. There's only some parks available for pass holders, and even then that's just the Incredipass.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. You always got to do, I mean, we do have distance out. I mean, we're talking, 2 weeks away. One advice I do give you guys with a reservation system is, if you're coming out here, continue checking. Because remember, a lot of these reservations that did get eaten up are maybe from families that are coming down, and then maybe they change their minds. Reservations do pop in and out all the time, but you have to constantly keep checking every single day. So a little something to do. I've gotten lucky before. I don't think I'm going to get lucky this time since I don't have my reservations yet, but who knows? You never know. Maybe I'll just go over to Beach Club. I'll watch it from Beach Club. Forget that.
Watch them on the beach. Heck yeah.
Yeah, I'll just watch. Yeah. And another great tip, from you guys, if you ever want a great location, maybe this will be maybe some video content I'll have to do sometime. A great hidden location to go watch the fireworks at Magic Kingdom is not even in the park itself. Great place to go watch them is over at the beach at between Polynesian and Grand Floridian. They actually pump the music onto the beach so you can hear the music along with the fireworks. Great hidden location, and you're not gonna have to deal with the crowds trying to get out of the parks afterwards. So something to keep in mind. I have not even, I've been on all my images, so I haven't even been looking at this chat, so I have no idea what y'all are talking about over there at all. I don't know why this StreamYard is just going so slow for me today. Anyways, a new upgraded a couple months ago, I announced that they took away the alcohol booth that they had over in France. They just recently replaced it with an upgraded alcohol kiosk. I can't remember the name of it, but it has returned to the France Pavilion, where you can find wine, beer, and other specialty cocktails to be found on top of the booths for like the different festivals that are going on. OTT, I'm actually going to answer this one real quick. Heard Spaceship Earth was getting another revamp, but have not been able to confirm. Spaceship Earth was set to get a new revamp with all new technology put in. The storyline was going to be exactly the same, but improved technology. However, with COVID coming in, and they had a lot of projects going on at the time, they had to more or less shelf a lot of projects that may or may not happen. I think Spaceship Earth will eventually happen, but being as they've had so much construction, they've decided to leave that ride running, so they have another ride for people to go to before they shut that one down. The one originally announced ride that I personally think is not coming back and is going to stay in the Disney vault will be the Mary Poppins ride. That got defunded, and I think that is going to go in the vault somewhere, and maybe in about 10 or 20 years you may see it show up in a park somewhere.
Yeah,
because Disney likes to reference old plans all the time. So but yeah, Spaceship Earth, I don't expect it to be happening anytime soon. Like I said, the big thing at Epcot is going to be the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind to be launching in 2022. I would expect it to be somewhere between May and July when that ride releases.
Yeah.
Spaceship Earth is always, yeah, like Spaceship Earth is a classic ride. To be honest, it's one of my favorites.
Absolutely,
well, but I do agree it needs an upgrade.
Oh yeah,
it definitely needs an upgrade.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I do actually have this. I reported this a while ago, and I brought up the pictures of what it did look like. If you guys have been to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, a couple months I was out there filming before I did the ride. I was kind of annoyed with how people were treating the queue line. As the original queue line, people were picking away at the Chinese themed, decals and walls, and they were putting these giant empty holes in it. Disney has redone it, and they've made it better. Unfortunately, most of it's all now paint, except for the gold is now decals, which I think was a bad mistake because anytime you give guests any little bit of surface to screw up, they are going to screw it up.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Unfortunately. So I don't see this. I see this being a constant problem over
Mhm.
Mickey Minis because people are waiting in line, and especially now with Lightning Lane, people in the standby line are waiting even longer.
Mhm.
So, but if you guys are going to the rides, please don't destroy the walls.
Yeah. Like,
And
don't.
that's not Disney like. And you know, I think most big Disney fans are going to tell you to knock it off because they don't want to see their. I think Mickey Minnie is a fantastic ride, and I think the fact that they left the original Chinese theater lobby is fantastic. So please don't destroy it.
Yeah. That's right up there with me of like, being nice to cast members. It goes, be nice to cast members. Don't destroy Disney property.
You missed my new show either last week or the week before. I've been, I think this is the first week in like 3 weeks. I haven't announced a fight going on either
Right.
between guests or guests and cast members. Y'all, let's get along. We know tempers are on high end. We know, come on, cast members are just doing what they're asked, and they're doing
Yeah.
it for your safety. So
Exactly.
please, just do what
Be a
they
good
ask
person.
you to do. If you're coming into Disney World during the beginning of next year, and you're staying at Disney World Resorts, I do have some pool closures for you that you might want to be aware of. The pool over at Kidani Village at Animal Kingdom Villas will be closed for repairs and refurbishment from January to April. Now, the Mara quick service that is down there by the pool will continue to stay open, as well as a fitness center. And if you are staying at Donny Village, you can always go over to the Jumbo House pool to, enjoy that one. However, if you've ever been to Animal Kingdom, the distance between Kidani Village and Jumbo House, you can walk there, but it's a long walk.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind if you're going there, as well as over at Disney's Art of Animation, starting early January 2022 into late February 2022. The Mermaid Pool over at Art of Animation will be closing for refurbishment. And then after that opens up in mid-April, sometime basically after spring break, they will be closing down the Cozy Cones Pool for refurbishment as well. Disney has their plans, they have their schedules. They want to be able to keep these things up and going for you guys. So if this does hinder your vacation, I'm sure they do apologize, but they're making sure that it lasts for many, many years to come, as they're always trying to update those. So be aware of those closures. Now, here's something I know you're going to have something to say about, as this has been kind of a running joke in the Disney community. Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser continues to find openings as guests are starting to cancel with the 90 days paid in full as approaching. Guests are going. Also got a very odd, and somebody posted up on YouTube, a very odd and creepy welcome message from one of the flight crew that is going to welcome you to your stay. Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. And I had to explain to somebody the other day because, of course, the other part of this is these cancellations started after Disney decided to have a little preview of the Galactic Star Cruiser with the star from what is that show? The Goldbergs.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was up for 24 hours before they took it down, because it got so many dislikes, got so many bad comments, and to be honest with you, it actually made the entire experience look cheap.
Yes. When they started doing the previews at D23, because I was watching the live stream of the, D23 parks, piece as all of us do.
Mm-hmm.
They showed Josh tomorrow doing the lightsaber training. And I just sat there and I'm like, okay, the lightsaber's cool. This is not. This is dumb. Like, he's literally, I'm just gonna use a Sharpie. This is my lightsaber. It's black. I have the dark saber. It's literally just him going like this. This is not cool. Like, look, I'm doing it right now. Like, it's
All
not
you're
cool.
doing is breaking a light and breaking the light chain, and that's what's creating it to change.
Yeah, and like the bridge thing, I'm sorry, I don't understand the bridge training. Like, it's just pushing buttons with simulated flight stuff. Like,
And it doesn't even look like high-end technology.
no, I don't even like Smuggler's Run, but Smuggler's Run like looks better. I don't think it's going to ultimately be worth the price. Quite frankly, they started to lose me at the price. They lost me a little bit
I
more
think they lost a lot of people at the price.
when they put out the pictures of the blue shrimp. That also was like, no.
I get being different, and I get doing different stuff, but
something doesn't sit right with me about putting food coloring on shrimp. It just doesn't.
I mean, if you actually, I remember when they read it out and they brought the website out. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not I like Star Wars. I'm not a diehard fan. I mean, the overall plan and idea I thought was well thought out. It got me excited to go and, well, maybe I can pull $3,000 out of somewhere, but the concept came, okay, and then they started to show stuff.
Yeah.
And then you realize these artist renderings almost look better than what we got.
Like kite tails.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me started on kite tails. I've already had my rant about kite tails.
I hate kite tails.
It is the dumbest show in all of Disney.
Well, and two, when I think about Galactic Star Cruiser, I get where they're coming at with the price, because it's not something that you're gonna do repeatedly. It's a quote unquote once in a lifetime experience. But once in a lifetime doesn't have to equate to a lifetime savings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Especially for a 2-night.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, who's paying? I mean, unless you're a celebrity, who's paying a minimum of $1,500 a night?
Yeah. If I'm paying $1,500 a night for something, I'm staying at like an executive suite at the club level at the Grand Floridian.
If I'm paying $3,000 for anything that resembles a relaxing, cruise, I'm going to Disney Cruise Line, and I'm going to have a veranda room for a week, not 2 days.
Yeah, and not be forced to stay in one portion of Hollywood Studios and then forced to stay on the ship. Yeah, it just doesn't.
And then the other thing that really bothered me, the only thing that really bothered me about the Josh Tomorrow thing was, of course, they wanted to show with the, everybody was, the most thing that people were so impressed and wanted when it was starting to get announced as Galactic Star Cruiser was the image of Rey with the retractable lightsaber. So what does Josh Tomorrow do? And mind you, we all love Josh Tomorrow. I think he's still a fantastic board member. He brings out the lightsaber. He shows it is real. But then what does he do? We're not selling them.
Yeah.
How are you going to show something that is that awesome? I don't care if you're that right there, you completely missed your mark, because you're going to charge $3,000 for something that looks cheap, and you could have something like a retractable lightsaber that you could sell for $500 a piece, and people are going to pay it. And you're not going to sell it? You're stupid.
Yeah.
Absolutely dumb. It makes no sense at all.
Yeah. I think that over time, and it may happen sooner rather than later if people are making all these cancellations, we will see the price for Galactic Star Cruiser drop drastically.
I think we'll see it drop, and I think we'll even see some of the activities, because of course with the price drop, I guarantee you activities are going to go away. They're going to have to make it more value friendly for the average consumer. If not, then screw it. It's small. I've seen the building. Demolish it and put something better there.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it was a great idea on paper. Poor execution.
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
that's where I'm at with it. Even as a YouTuber, even if I was pulling, Tim Tracker and Kyle Paleo type YouTube money, I
Mm-hmm.
still don't think I would pay that to go on there, because I
No.
think even at this point, the average people don't even want to see it on YouTube.
Yeah. It just it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't.
Makes absolutely none. All right, so there's our rant about the Galactic Star Cruiser. One good thing, and I have been telling you guys, and I think this is a fantastic and is absolutely my favorite part of the app, of the My Disney Experience app that I've actually absolutely started to love, is the mobile merchandise that they've been doing in the parks. I've told you guys where they started in creation shops. They've moved it to Emporium. They've moved it to World of Disney, and now they've added another location, which is Mickey's of Hollywood in Hollywood Studios. People, take advantage of this. I've used it. It's great. If you have your My Disney Experience set up properly, even if you're an annual pass holder and you're due to get discounts, trust me, it already knows you're getting discounts. You literally scan your items, you put it in, you say buy. I buy it with my Apple Pay. And then as you're walking out, you just look for the little exit sign. You show the person your QR code. They hand you a bag and you walk out.
Mm-hmm.
No
It's
lines
awesome.
needed.
It's awesome.
It is one of the greatest things with that app they have done in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I will definitely, as far as Lightning Lane goes with that app, maybe into next year, because I really haven't. I've been so annoyed with Lightning Lane that I haven't done any videos on it. I don't think the Lightning Lane is for the average annual pass holder. Maybe for guests coming for their first time ever, that want to get in as many rides as possible. Yeah, maybe pay for it. I'll be doing some videos on Lightning Lane on either using it or don't using it in the new year. So if you guys want to hear some more information about that, please stay tuned.
Now, I will say the best thing about it is that it did allow me to do Remy's twice. Because you purchase it in the morning, you can still get a boarding group at 1.
Isn't Epcot, what are the two big ones over there? The extra fee.
Remy's and
Test
the
track?
Frozen.
That's right.
Yeah.
Frozen. So yeah, so you so and in that case that can work for an annual pass holder, because I wouldn't recommend doing the Disney Genie Plus, but if you want to go on to Remy's and pay, because sometimes the prices can be anywhere from $7 to $15. However, in Disneyland, that price can range from anywhere from $7 to $20. Because Disneyland is more expensive for some reason. Yeah, so use it the way it is, and I'm going to show you some different ways to be able to use it in the new year, to give you guys some examples. A new store is coming to Disney Springs if you are a jewelry type of person. Kendra Scott's store will be coming to Disney Springs Town Center in the near future, so please keep an eye out for that. All right, now we're getting into my absolute favorite spot of the news, and this is foods and snacks.
Yes,
I absolutely love this part, and I, you know me, I bring you guys pictures of these things. These things are awesome, and this first one, when I go to Disney Springs tomorrow, I may actually have to try this and put it on a YouTube short, because it looks far too good. Over at Aristocrapes, they have brought back a favorite, which is the Santa Hat Crepe. But not sure why it's a Santa Hat crepe, why it has a belt buckle if it's supposed to be a Santa hat. Didn't really understand that one. But it is a sweet crepe filled with eggnog custard with chocolate sauce and whipped cream. I'm a huge eggnog lover, absolutely love it. So this is right up my alley. I love the Aristocrapes location. I think they have some fantastic stuff there. So that's a great item. Over at the Ganachery, they actually have, and this was on the thumbnail, of course, they have the Santa Mickey Pinata. It comes with a wooden hammer for breaking it, and it has all kinds of different chocolate items within it and stuff like that. This item you can get at the Ganachery for $28, where you get something to break and a little wooden hammer. It's a ganachery. If everything in that store wasn't as good as it is, I would be bashing it. But there's nothing I've tried in that store that is not fantastic.
Yeah, that would be worth it.
It trust me, $28, it's still worth it. Over at the Barefoot Pool Bar, which is over at the Polynesian, there's a new drink called the Gingerbread Cookie. It's made with vodka, Godiva chocolate liqueur, gingerbread syrup, and vanilla ice cream. You can get this over at the Barefoot Pool and the Polynesian for $14. Over at the Contemporary, they have added a new Yule log, of course, all over Magic Kingdom and Disney World. There's all kinds of different Yule logs, but this is the new chocolate peppermint Yule log. Has been found at Contempo Cafe in Contemporary. Is a chocolate chiffon cake with peppermint mousse and ganache.
That looks so good.
This one just looks incredible. This is the holiday candy cane shake with vanilla candy cane ice cream topped with whipped cream, a chocolate cake donut, and candy cane pieces. This can be found at Scoops in Hollywood Boulevard for $9.49. And although a lot of milkshakes, sometimes the peppermint don't have enough peppermint, this has been said to have a perfect equal amount of peppermint in it. So it's well worth it if that's what you're looking for. I just want that donut, to be honest with you.
I mean, honestly, I seem to have this weird habit of like I say something and then it manifests. So like Disney, if you're listening, I really need you to keep that around at least through January 30th.
You never know. They do have a tendency, but again, it can only be found at Scoop. So that's the one thing. It can drive guests crazy, but as annual pass holders and YouTubers such as myself, I love the fact that Disney makes certain locations only get certain things. Because it's literally like a treasure hunt every time you go to Disney. Because I tell people all the time, I don't know. I've been to so many of the quick services. I've been to so many of the basic restaurants. My favorite thing doing nowadays, and if you ever go back to, if you guys ever want an idea of what I'm talking about, I did a Tech Bot Eats back in summer over at Animal Kingdom Lodge. There is so many great snacks. They call them snacks, but they can be doubled as almost meals for great price, and you get some fantastic items. So you don't have to wait in those mobile order lines at the quick service meals and just get some dried chicken nuggets and usually overcooked cheeseburgers. Unless you know where to go for good quick service locations, because there are some really good quick service locations. But there's some fantastic snacks, and finding these weird rare items is great. And this is why we give you guys one tip of a location that I absolutely go every time I'm in Magic Kingdom, and they reopened it about 4 months ago. And I probably shouldn't tell you guys because you guys will all sell out of them. But over in Magic Kingdom, right in front of the Adventureland sign, there is a booth there. They have one of the best things in the world, and these are spring rolls. Now you gotta get saying spring rolls. I've had those. No, you have not. They have all different kinds. They got pepperoni pizza. They've got pastrami. They've got cheeseburger. They've got Philly cheesesteak. They usually do
Buffalo
two flavors
chicken.
a day. 2 flavors a day, and when they sell out,
they're done.
day, that's it. They only make so many. So you can get usually 2 for $9, and they are worth every single bite.
Oh my God, they're so tasty.
I've had all the different flavors.
Oh my God.
And I keep waiting for them to bring out some new stuff, but it doesn't matter because all those flavors are fantastic.
They're so good. And the line is always backed up to Main Street.
It's always a line.
Insane.
Because, of course, stupid people like me continue to tell everybody about the fantastic small little holes in the walls to go to. But, I got to share. I got to share why I love Disney. Small things like this.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, one of my favorites recently has been there's a cart out front of Journey Under the Sea with Little Mermaid. And the mermaid slushie has become one of my favorite little treats. And I'm like, I don't want people to know it's so good, but like also it's really good.
And that booth is not even open all the time either. So yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. My daughter's a mermaid fanatic, and she's seen it before, and she wanted it. But yeah, great locations. You got to find these small tidbits because things like scoops. I mean that milkshake right there. Trust me, we're Florida. We drink milkshakes year round. We're not worried about cold because we don't partake in winter.
Yeah.
So we drink milkshakes year round. Another great item for the adults. There has been found. Let's see if I got the right image. I think this is it. They have been found over at Geyser Point Grill. You can find martini flights, and these are based around the world, kind of inspired by a globe, they say, which I didn't really understand, to be honest with you. You have 4 flavors. One is called the Florida Key Lime Pie, the Mexican Poinsettia, the Caribbean Cream, and the Italian Manhattan. And you cannot find this on the menu. It is actually considered a secret menu item, and you have to ask for this. Didn't get a price on it, though. Last but not least, this is a great... It's something they've done for a while, but I want to show you guys because it's a great value if you guys are in Polynesian. They have a banana macadamia nut bread. You can find this over at the little booth called Kona Isle. It's a little booth right next to Kona Cafe. You can find this in the bakery case for $3.49. At Disney, $3.49 is a deal.
Yeah.
It's
like,
a deal.
That's almost the price of a water bottle.
Exactly. I mean, so you take the deals when you can get them. And I'm going back to this chat because I know I've missed you guys a little bit. OTT, thank you very much for becoming a new Donut Life member. I do appreciate it. As like I always like to tell you, if you guys want to help, hit that join button down below. That is my membership. It's a great way to help support the channel and kind of keep giving you guys some Mickey ears out here. So always a great way to help out as well. Let's see before I get to the merchandise, which is my last section. I want to see where you guys are. I know a lot of you guys like the food section. Let's see. Let's just scroll over some comments real fast. Wait, it comes with a hammer. Yes, it does come with a wooden hammer. It is part of the $28. Now that's the greatest treat ever. I agree. Anything in ganachery, normally I'd say $28 for something you got to break is highway robbery, not the ganachery, because you're going to eat everything of that, but completely.
Okay.
What did Simon say? Looks like a version of the mini puff, but in a cup. Oh yeah, with the I can see that with the donuts and on top of the whipped cream. Oh yeah, I get that. So what's the name of the martini, or what's the name of Matt?
Oh, that's me.
She doesn't have a channel. She is, again, I met her. She used to do a podcast with another group. She's no longer with that group, so I will not promote that podcast. But she is a YouTuber. So tell them how they can find you on TikToker. Tell them how they can find you on TikTok, especially if you're a Disney fans.
Yeah. So I have both a TikTok and I have a Disney Instagram. I haven't kept up with it recently because my life got away from me. But my TikTok handle is that Disney Teacher 24. So that Disney Teacher 24. It's a lot of Disney stuff. It's a lot of teaching stuff. It's a lot of me complaining that I'm single, type things too. And then and getting into some cosplay stuff there too. There's a lot of cosplay stuff a couple cosplay things recently. And then my Disney Instagram, which I haven't caught up with in a while. But need to get back to it, is Madelyn and the Mouse, with an underscore after it. And that's Madelyn and the Mouse underscore.
If you're going to catch us on the replay, I will get her information and I will be updating it. It's not up there right now, but I will be updating the description with all of her locations of where you can find her. Sometimes it's just going to be me on the show, but I'm pretty sure she will be back at some point with some great topics to talk about. I'm going to try to bring in some more, what I call Disney specialist panels to talk more about Disney, because you know I know you guys love to just watch me talk and rant about some of this stuff, but sometimes it's great to feed off of people. So I do appreciate it. Of course, we got Christina in here. You know, she's a fantastic friend. She's one of the best moderators in the business, and she is fantastic. And I know she was excited for those ears, so she is in the drawing today. Definitely the best mod. And hey, OTT already has that up there. If you guys want to go check out Madelyn TikTok, that Disney Teacher 24. Again, I will be put anyone watching on the rewind. I will have it in the description, updated tomorrow.
That's me.
All right. Now, last section here, which is merchandise. There's a lot of new merchandise. Of course, holidays are still coming around, as well as, you know, we got 50th anniversary still dropping, all kinds of stuff. So, first, this is something, mind you, maybe I just haven't been in that store in a long time. I didn't even know about this, but they've released more new images for this, and I think this is fantastic. There's in the Tomorrowland Light and Power company, which is the gift shop right next to Space Mountain. They now have 6 new designs of the commemorative brick for you to customize. It is not something that they, you know, the old bricks, if you remember that, they had it out front in Disney World. They do not do that anymore. Out here at Magic Kingdom, they have removed all those. In fact, the people that have purchased those, they have actually sent those original bricks to them. But these are more of, I don't even know what the material is made out of. But it basically is supposed to look like a type of brick where you can put different items and decals and stuff like that on there. And something you can take home for you and your family. I think this is a fantastic idea, a great customizable item. And, you know, I didn't even know it was there. I just haven't been over there in quite a while, to be honest with you. And, I mean, have you seen this thing before, Madelyn?
I have not, actually. It's the first time I'm seeing that, and now I want one.
I want one. Now I want one. I want 5. I want 6. I don't care. I want them all.
I'm gonna figure out logistically how this is gonna work in January, but I want it.
I did tell the guys a tip. Again, I don't know if you know about this tip, but I usually try to, and I'm giving you guys lots of tips today, so I may not drop one at the end. But I usually try to give great tips. I don't know if you knew about this one, but if you had the tendency, like myself in the past, when I used to not live in Florida and come out here, if you buy too much merchandise from Disney and you want a great way to be able to ship that back home without overpricing, because you're going to pay a lot more for oversized luggage at the airport, take your products, keep your receipts, and go to the gift shop of your Disney. And this is really only for Disney Resort guests. Take those receipts and that merchandise to the store at your Disney hotel. They will ship those products for you. And the greatest part about that is the shipping price is based off the overall price in which you've paid, not the weight.
Mm-hmm.
I've had them ship 2 ginormous boxes once to Las Vegas when I lived out there, and we only paid $30 for shipping.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah.
So a great little tip for you guys if you guys are the type like me and buy a whole lot of merchandise. But the bricks are fantastic. I got to get out there and find out what type of material that is made of. But I never got to get one of the bricks, so this is a great, I think. Mm-hmm. You know, something else to get to be able to add to it. Now this, I know you got just is a sweatshirt or a Spirit jersey that you have on. Is that a sweatshirt or a Spirit jersey?
It's a sweatshirt.
It's a sweatshirt. Are you a Spirit jersey type?
Oh, I am.
All right.
My drawer is overflowing with them.
So they just released, as part of the 50th anniversary collection, the new Cinderella Castle Spirit jersey has arrived and can be found with an image of the castle with gold letters. It also is sparkly gold all over the front of it. This is a little bit pricier than typical Spirit jerseys. This one is going for $84.99. I like the image of the castle on the back. I think it's a little different.
It reminds me a lot of, there was a Spirit jersey that just dropped within the last 2 weeks that I bought when it dropped online. It's a light pink gold lettering, like that same gold lettering.
Oh yeah,
and
I know what you're talking about.
The bottom has like the gold specks. It reminds me a lot of that, but like, And I'm like, do I need it? No, because it's a lot like the one that I just bought. But also, am I going to be awake at 3 a.m. on Sunday to see if it drops on Shop Disney? Absolutely, I'm going to be.
See, here's my problem. I love the look of Spirit jerseys. I think they look great. Only problem is I live in Florida. We don't wear long sleeves very much.
Yeah.
So I find it hard to purchase something that's $75 to $85 that I'm not going to wear very often.
Yeah.
So
That
that's my
one's hard
only
to
problem
justify.
with Spirit jerseys. If you are a Star Wars fan, as we've talked, they have, I talked about the Chewbacca ears being over at Disneyland. They have now finally come across the coast and are found in Walt Disney World. Would be perfect for any Star Wars fan at $29.99. You know what's funny is if you have dark brown hair, they may just mesh into your actual hair, and people may actually think it's part of your hair, which is definitely weird.
Just a little
To be
bit.
honest with you. For most of you guys don't know, of course, we know Magic Kingdom is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year, which I know you guys all know that. But don't forget, Contemporary is also celebrating their 50th anniversary, as they were the first resort out here in Florida to open up with Magic Kingdom, and they are celebrating their 50th anniversary with some great new merchandise. This is a new Loungefly bag. It's sparkled, got Mickey and Minnie on it, lime blue, and the coolest part about this bag is the handle is monorail.
That's really cute. I love that.
That one, I believe, that one runs for $75. And this one, of course, I had to put this on my thumbnail because, I mean, who doesn't like a good Mickey waffle?
Honestly,
I mean, come on. I laughed about the popcorn ones, but I can't laugh about Mickey waffles. This is a new Mickey waffle Loungefly bag with the giant Mickey waffle on the front, and it's got butter sitting right there on the side too. I mean, the downside with whoever wears this is just you're gonna be thinking about breakfast all day long. But
so
you
I
can find
actually
it for
own 75.
$85.
So I actually own this one. And the tag says that it's scented. Like the popcorn one, it says it's scented. Where it is scented, I can't find it. To me, it just smells like leather, not
Now, does a popcorn one smell like popcorn?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I have the popcorn Spirit jersey, and let me tell you, I washed it. Still smells like popcorn.
You still smell popcorn?
Yep.
Oh, wow. That's some heavy duty centers.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and that would be cool if they claim that scented, if that actually came through. Because I mean, who doesn't like the smell of that buttery maple syrup smell to it? I mean, I think that would be fantastic. But again, all I'd be doing is thinking about food.
Yep.
You know, luckily I'm sorry, I don't wear Loungefly bags. It's just not part of my style. I don't think most men do, personally. No. You know, hey, to each his own. To each his own.
Yeah. Because then there's me who has like 45 of them, you know, and plans outfits around them, and you know, it's called a balance. Everything in life is a balance.
My sister's like that. My sister probably has pretty much every Loungefly bag out there, and she matches her outfits to her Loungefly bag, and there's just so many out there. For you Star Wars fans as well, there is also a new dress that was found. It's kind of a play on the classic Princess Leia outfit, which is the all white with the white hood, which is her replicated outfit of her giving the help message from the New Hope movie. I think because the original one, of course, had longer, is more like it wasn't a dress that she wore. It's more like a cape or a throne with the hoodie on. I think that's a good play on it. I think that'd be something that, you know, a person could pull off without being so Star Wars, but still be Star Wars.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Again, and also fits the whole dapper, you know, esque vibe too.
Exactly. Now, here's a big one right here, and I don't know if you've seen this because this recently just released, and this goes into the realm of the $1,000 ears. We have a new Loungefly bag that is the 50th anniversary bag. It is gold and black. It is made with real leather. The 50th emblem and the gold is actually somewhat real gold, but the 50th emblem on the front actually has gold leaf flakes inside of the emblem as well. This retails right now for $298 and can only be found in Magic Kingdom.
This one I do not own. This one I will not own. I cannot.
It's got to be in that realm of, if you're going to pay $1,000 for a set of ears, you might as well get the Loungefly bag that goes with it.
I can't say that I think the price is ridiculous, because I have definitely paid about 3 times that amount for a bag.
Real leather. Before. Plus, it's real leather.
Yeah. I definitely paid 3 times that amount for my Space Mountain Minnie Mouse main attraction Loungefly. But the Lux collection is killing me, man.
The Lux collection is this high price Lux collection they're doing is ridiculous, and they keep dropping a new one like every week. It's crazy.
Yeah,
another set of ears that came out for the holidays, of course, the holiday cookie ears. It's new for Christmas edition, holiday cookie ears, and it kind of has like a peppermint type of headband. This one retails for $29.99. Last few items on the list. If you are a Starbucks fan and you remember they've done color changing cups before, they have brought in a new color changing cup with a little bit of peppermint on there. Of course, this is a color changing reusable cup that we found at Disney Springs, and it's a great value for $2.99. As candy canes in front, and as you put hot coffee in, it goes from a dark blue to a light blue color with the hot coffee in there. Have you seen the color changing cups there before?
I have not.
I think it's great, especially if you got kids. You want to see this, the changes, and for a $3 price point, you really can't beat it.
Yeah.
So a great way to do it. And here, this is actually something that has just recently been found. Nobody's really seen this on Disney before, but if you are into doing your nails, Disney has just started releasing some nail decals. They've only got the 2 so far, which is the holiday and the gold Mickeys. So I would expect if these become popular, you're going to see a lot more of these coming. I know that mind you, my wife does some of the decal stuff.
Yeah,
I can completely see her wearing these, to be honest with you.
I look at that. For me, I look at mine. I have very small nails, and I'm like, the Mickey, like on the thumb alone, the Mickey head, you'd cut off like half the ears on either side, so you wouldn't even know what was on my nail, just because I have small fingernails. So I just look at those and I'm like, those are a nightmare for me.
Yeah.
But and that'd be a fun thing for like little kids or whatnot.
So let's have this chat one more time. Let's give this giveaway item, and we're going to go ahead and give you today's question for next week's. Again, we are going to be giving away another set of ears next week, a new holiday set of ears. Let's see what you guys had for any questions other than being a cute bag. I never had Mickey waffles yet. Only thing I can say is you're missing out.
Yeah.
You ain't had a real waffle till you've had a Mickey waffle. What did you say? Does it smell like butter? Again, you said if it was, it didn't really come through very strong.
The popcorn one definitely does. It definitely smells very strongly of butter, but the waffle one, I literally don't even know where it smells.
Maybe next time if I find one, I'll smell it for you and I'll show you on a short or in a video or something like that. See if there's a scent to it.
Yeah, maybe I just got a faulty one.
Some of those items I would be nervous actually using one scuff mark, and it would be, again, that'd be the same thing with that $200 Lux bag. That'd be one you kind of just probably keep out for special occasions, stuff like that. And Nadia is now following Madelyn on Instagram. See, get over there, follow her up. She's some great Disney stuff in there. And last one, choosing interested choices in the images for the nail decal. You think they would have done something a little bit more? I think they just really threw something out there, because I know with the whole, my wife gets them sometimes. That whole I can't know what it's called. It's a whole company that does like these nail decals. And they become popular, so I think Disney's just trying to touch into that, and they just kind of threw two types out just to see how they do. I really think that's where it was just a test more than anything. So,
Yeah.
Let's give these away and then we'll figure out a new question for this week. So again, these are it's kind of like a ugly sweater type of ears. Of course, we got trees. We got a Mickey head, of course, an actual Mickey head here. But they feel like a sweater, which is definitely kind of cool. And so we have 5 people in this week's entry. We do appreciate it all. Again, these are items that can be found sometimes only in the parks, or of course shopdisney.com is a great location to find these if you guys are looking for them. These ones I believe are new for this holiday season. So if you do want to get a set of these, just go to shopdisney.com. I believe they retail for $39.99. At least that's what I got mine for, or these ones for. So we have 6 people in this week. Let's go ahead and give it a quick shuffle up. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's spin it. Who wins it? The one, the only, Miss Christina Payne. Spread the love. You won the Mickey ears. I can't remember if I've ever sent anything out to you, so please go over to Instagram. Just send me your address again. Excuse me. Send me your address again, and I think we got some stuff out in the mail earlier this week, and we will go ahead and add that to this as well. So we do appreciate it. Again, if you guys want to get entered in for the leather Mickey ears, which is I believe like the Walt style pattern. Let's see, what did we talk? We talked about a lot of stuff today. What in here? Because again, I like to do questions based upon stuff that I talked about. Let's see. Here's a good one. Now, I know in the past couple weeks, my questions have been like 3-parters. You have to give me 3 answers. You only need 1 answer this time. And I don't even know if some people caught me saying this. What is the name of the New Year's Eve fireworks at the Magic Kingdom? So tell me, there's going to be 2 sets of fireworks that are going to go on New Year's Eve. One will be Disney Enchantment, so please don't give me that one. We already know that one. This is the special New Year's Eve fireworks that they'll be shooting off on the 31st. There's a particular name to that show. Let me know what that is. Please do not put it in the chat. Send that to me on Instagram or Facebook. If you don't already follow me on Instagram or Facebook, here's the information right here. If it'll pop up, there you go. At Mr. TechBot77 or on Facebook at Mr. TechBot127. You can send it to me either way. I will let you know if you got it right, and I will put it in my notes as an entry for next week's and what you are playing for next week. Again, I will be picking it up tomorrow in the store. Is these fantastic mini ears. Maybe you've got a wife, maybe you've got a daughter that's big Disney fans, and they have never had a set of ears. Here's a good chance to get yourself a free set of ears. I believe those on retail for $29.99. So I'll be giving those away next week. As we know, next week is a couple days before New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve. Wow. I've really screwed up my days. It's a couple days before Christmas Eve. So we will be still bringing you some Disney news, as there's a lot of stuff that goes on the last 2 weeks of the year. So stay tuned. We'll see what happens. Hopefully no fights. I hope that every single week. Don't fight, people. It's the happiest place on earth. No fights.
Don't take cucumbers from Living with the Land either.
Don't take cucumbers. Don't get off the rides, people. Do not get off the rides. Stay on the rides, because if you guys screw it up for us and you get off the rides of Living with the Land, next thing we know, we're all gonna have lap bars on Living with the Land because y'all screwed it up for us. Don't screw it up for us, all right? We like it the way it is, because that's one of my favorite rides of all of Epcot is Living with the Land. Don't screw it up for me. Anyways, thank you all for coming out. Madelyn, I appreciate you coming out and hanging out with us and partaking in Disney news, giving some great insight as well. Please, again, put up that TikTok or tell us what your TikTok and Instagram information is. And mods, if you guys have done so already, please go ahead and put that information up there again, as well as if you're watching on a rewind, it'll be in the description below tomorrow.
Yep, definitely. So thank you guys for already going in. I followed y'all back. For those of you who already went in. My Disney Instagram is Madelyn and the Mouse. It's Madelyn. Oh my God, I can't spell my own name. Madelyn and the Mouse, and then there's an underscore after it. And then my TikTok handle is that Disney Teacher 24.
And of course, Christina Payne's already on it.
Yes.
So we got, there you go, Madelyn in there. Don't do it from the question mark over. I think that's a copy link.
Yeah.
It just stops at the underscore, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
And I do. Fun fact, I do also. I was thinking about with the ears. I do also have an Etsy shop where I do make my own Minnie Mouse ears. If y'all are interested, that is Madelyn Makes Magic on Etsy. Got a lot of really cool stuff, and who knows? Maybe I might be willing to send you a free pair to give away.
There we go. There we go. And I know you're coming out to town soon, so maybe we'll meet up, do a little short video or something when I'm out and about doing some filming. So I do appreciate you again stopping by. I will get all of her information and put it in the description down below again with the Etsy stuff. Because if you got mouse ears, Disney can get expensive. A great way to get some really fantastic mouse ears. There's people on Etsy that make some fantastic mouse ears, so it's another great location to find. So definitely check her out on Etsy as well. Other than that, guys, that's all we got for you guys. Don't forget to smash that like button down below, as well as if you haven't already, hit that red subscribe button. Please hit that red subscribe button along with the post notification bells right next to it. And also definitely consider checking out the Donut Life membership that's right there by the just hit that join button. There's different tiers for different people, and become a Donut Life member where you can help support the channel, and I can keep getting some fantastic products for you guys, because Disney's got some fantastic stuff. Maybe if we keep going up, we get some Spirit jerseys for you guys. You never know. So stay tuned. Keep an eye out, and otherwise, as I always like to say here, never forget. Or actually, I forgot my own tagline for a second there. Do what you like, do what you love, and always, guys, never forget to unleash your inner nerd. Y'all have a wonderful week, and look forward to seeing you again next week. Take it easy.